If you knew this would be your last adventure that you would ever share with your best friend, would you stay home or would you go and climb a mountain? In the summer of 2021, on a windy trail in South Wales, something incredibly simple and incredibly powerful happened. There was no music, no big speeches, no cameras chasing the moment, just a man, a wheelbarrow, and a dog who meant the world to him. The man was Carlos Fresco, and inside that wheelbarrow was his best friend Monty. Monty was a 10-year-old Labradoodle with soft curls and calm, knowing eyes. But to Carlos, Monty wasn't just a pet. He was his companion in every sense of the word. The kind of friend who shows up every morning for the morning walk, even in rainy afternoons or cold, wintry days. Even the quiet day, we don't feel like talking about anything, but don't want to be alone either. For years, they explored hills and trails across the UK together. With long drives, muddy boots, open fields, this is kind of their rhythm, what they did. They had been out to all kinds of places, but the one place that held a special place in their hearts was Pen With wide skies, rolling green slopes, and fresh wind, it felt endless. Monty used to run there and we had unlimited energy, sprinting ahead and turning back as to say, are you coming? But then life shifted. In a way, sometimes it does. Quietly, but completely. Monty was diagnosed with leukemia. For 18 months, he fought. Treatments, vet visits, hopeful days followed by difficult ones. There were moments where it looked like he might just bounce back, but then others where he seemed like just a little bit too much. Finally, the illness returned stronger, his leg weakened, and walking became impossible. For most people would understand if the adventure ended there. But Carlos looked at Monty and didn't see an ending. He saw a friend whose spirit still lifted whenever he was in the fresh air and that warm sunlight. So he came up with a plan. A simple one. He found an old wheelbarrow, he cleaned off the dust, he oiled the squeaky wheel, he placed a soft blanket inside so Monty could lie comfortably. And then he decided if Monty couldn't climb the mountain anymore, he would carry them himself. So early one crisp June morning, they started off on their journey. Step by step, Carlos pushed the wheelbarrow up the hill. Monty lay peacefully, nose catching the familiar scent of the grass and the earth, his ears lifting whenever the breeze or birds flew by. It was quiet. It was personal. Just two friends sharing one more memory. But the mountains have a way of bringing people together. As hikers passed, they began to notice. Some of them slowed down. Some of them smiled softly. Others felt tears welled up before they even knew why. A few strangers stepped forward and asked if they could help push. Others simply walked beside them, saying nothing, but they were understanding everything. Finally did reach the summit of Pen The world felt still as if time had stopped. Monty rested under the open sky, breathing in the mountain air one last time. There was no applause, no grand celebration, just the wind, clouds, drifting above, and a quiet sense of peace all around. A few days later, Monty did pass away peacefully in his home. But that simple journey didn't end on the mountain. Photos were taken by strangers and spread across the internet and social media. News outlets shared the stories. Millions of people felt something deep and familiar. Because this really wasn't a story about a hike or even a dog. This was a story about loyalty, about choosing love even when it hurts, about refusing to let that one last chapter be empty. And this is why the story has stayed with so many people, because love doesn't always arrive with fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes love is just about pushing a wheelbarrow up a mountain so you can feel the wind and the sun and be with your friend again one last time.